What's the highest level of sex? This is a good one. And ironically, you can't learn this. You see, there's no teacher or anybody that can teach this. Why? Because it's the most natural thing. How are you going to teach something that's totally natural? It's like if you go to a teacher and you say, I don't feel I'm natural. Like when I'm talking or when I'm walking, like I don't feel natural. Can you teach me how to be natural? Now, you can find people out there that'll do that because everybody wants someone to teach them something because it's easier. It's too much work. They don't even know where to start to realize this natural place that's already inside them. It's too much work. So just let me go to somebody that can teach me. Let me learn that like I'm learning how to change the oil on the car. I want a systemic method on how to be natural or how to have the highest form of sex. So then they have tantric teachers and caressa teachers and all kinds of stuff. Why? Because there's a market for it. So they're going to have it. But a real teacher, I don't feel he would even be teaching. Like how? How can you authentically, if you're really an insider and you this is a reality for you, then you know that you can't teach it, right? So then how are you going to start a class and teach it? Something to think about. So, highest level of sex. I can feel, if I heard this in my previous years, like if I saw a video titled "The Highest Level of Sex," my mind would be like, oh wow, orgasms, fireworks, ecstasy. Wow, the girls just had convulsions and fell asleep. It was so good. This is probably what my imagination would do. And it's funny, it's the total opposite, right? No orgasm. There's no orgasm. It's an orgasm beyond orgasm, though. It's not your stereotypical 7-second hit of like intensity, followed by like, oh, I don't have any energy left. It's not that. It's a melting between the two beings, and they are so compatible, and there's so much love between the two that they just that you lose yourself in that fusion that happens when you surrender to each other, which isn't a doing act. It's an automatic thing that happens when both people are emotionally and spiritually mature enough, and they don't have any agendas in their mind. They're not thinking about getting their partner off. They're totally just tuned to the act of this fusion of energy that they're exchanging with each other. So when it's a meditation, you see. When that fusion happens, when this energy exchange becomes, there's just like one energy start, and again, I'm not trying to sound spiritual, right? There's so many people that do that, and they make me sick. I'd rather hang out with a bank robber who just is real and says, yeah, this is what I do. I rob banks. I'm like, cool, I understand, man. But these others, a lot, not all, right? But a lot, I just want to like slap them, like stop. You're I don't believe you, anything you say. It's a really nice experience to have, but you can't find it via a dating app. Impossible. I went to one. I never really liked those things. Even in my 20s, nowadays they're like, this was 20 years ago. Nowadays, it seems like this is the only way to meet somebody. I don't know. That's what I hear. That's what they tell me. I don't even know what the dating apps are. I heard of Tinder, but I heard that's just a hookup, a hookup thing. And I don't know. I'm kind of glad. If that was there 20 years ago, would I have gotten in trouble? I don't think so. So here's why. It just always felt so contrived for me to do that, to like meet somebody on the computer. It felt like an audition. And now we're going to go meet somewhere and we're going to audition each other and do all this pretending, and try to be charming. Just fake as hell. And then we're trying to. What are we trying to do? I don't even know. Like each other or something, or I don't know, man. I did it once though. I was like 22. I was on Match.com. I don't know if that still exists. And I kind of liked getting the hits. I liked putting my picture and profile and then having girls contact me. I didn't want to contact them. I wanted the attention to hit. I wanted the validation. I can't get validation if I'm the one that writes them, right? But then I would get mad because of the quality. The girls that I wanted to contact me, they didn't contact me because they want you to contact them, but I don't want to contact them. Anyway, I had one girl where I felt I contacted her, by the way, so I had to submit, and she seemed okay. I was willing to meet her, so we met at this coffee shop on Sunset Boulevard. And the whole thing just felt weird. Even driving there felt weird. I just was like, what am I doing? Like, this is stupid, So we got there, and again, the whole pretentious thing. I mean, it's subtle. It's not like, oh, please, look at me. On some level, they're saying that, but she didn't articulate it. And same with me. But afterwards, we talked and all that, and I just didn't want to see her. I didn't even want to hook up really anyway. I just wanted to experience what that felt like. And I did, and I never did it again. But at the end, I was like, so what do you think? And she said, yeah, I'm willing to go out with you. You can let me know. I said, okay. And I felt bad when she said that. I honestly did, because I just felt like I used her or something, or I set her up. I really wasn't interested to begin with, but I just went there, and I just, yeah, that was it. One time was enough. So what ties into, okay, why did I bring that example up? To have the highest level of sex, I have to have true compatibility. I can't find that on a dating app. Maybe, there's always exceptions, but usually it's going to be a superficial match. The kind of compatibility I'm talking about, only the universe can send. Now that's relaxing if you perceive this in a wise, intelligent way. You don't have to worry about it. If you're doing dating apps and you're trying to find the one, forget about all that. You just chill. You chill and let God send you the one. Now, I have to be at a high enough level of maturity and consciousness in my own self, and have all these suppressed darkness, shadow work, etc. That has to be nullified to a good degree. Otherwise, my broadcasting signal is going to be distorted. Because this stuff inside that I haven't cleared out, it's going to mess my signal up, and then I'm going to attract somebody like that. It's law of nature. What are you going to do? Law of dynamics, law of reciprocity. So, and then we might get along a little bit for a little while, but then it's going to crash and burn. And then I'm going to look for another one. So the inner work is really important. I mentioned that in my last video where with women don't really need men. What we need is to do this work, this so-called inner work, so that we get balanced, and our minds balanced, and our bodies and emotions are balanced. They're vibrating at a higher level, so that then we don't act out or get trapped in certain carnal, egoic desires, addictions and stuff that make us do things that really isn't in alignment with our higher nature. So then when we do those things, then there's consequences. And then if we have another partner involved, the relationship's going to be drama, especially they're doing the same thing, which they will be, because we're going to attract that level. So let's assume the guy and girl have done, you can't say all of it. It never really ends if we're on a human level, but we stop focusing on it after a certain point. When we get to a good enough degree within ourselves, we just forget about the work. The work does itself at that point. There's like an automatic cleaning and letting things go and making amends if they need to. That's it. But the heavy suppressed stuff that maybe we were unconscious of before and all that stuff, that's been done. Now we're at a level where we just stay current. So let's say that the two people are like that. Then what I'm talking about is natural. This fusion, this energetic union, this let go in the mind. And the reason I say, you want to have orgasm, go ahead. I'm not against that. The reason, but what ends up happening naturally, you see, not we're making it happens naturally, is something realizes, wait, if I keep focusing on the orgasm or trying to give her one and she's thinking about it, like if she's also thinking about that and then worrying about me also, if you remove that whole thing out of the picture, can you sense how much space will be freed up in your mind? So then if there's more space, that means there's more space for intimacy. There's more space for energetic union and fusion. And then that turns into a nice meditative, relaxed state. The euphoria isn't as intense as an orgasm, but it's long lasting and it's soothing and it's even better. I don't even want that. You get to where you don't even want that excited jolt, from having your regular orgasm. It's like not appealing anymore. Your consciousness is more subtle now. You're enjoying the subtle nectar of things as opposed to the gross hits of things. You don't need that excitement anymore. You're at a higher altitude in yourself, and so then the results of that is automatic. You're tuned more on a more refined, subtle intoxication than previous. But I assume these words mean nothing to somebody who isn't at least coming into that, or at least open to that. There's some beings, perhaps you haven't experienced it, but this self-knowledge is already in you, and so then when you hear these words, something's like, yeah, that makes sense. I'm talking to all those people, the ones that just think I'm crazy and this is stupid and nonsense. I totally get it, man. I understand that too, because I did it too. Like, I understand. No problem. And again, I'm not here to, I have no position. I say this is the highest level of sex, but it's all good. If whatever sex we're doing, if you're enjoying it, good. That's it. Because that's what we're going to do anyway. We're going to do what we enjoy, and that's what we're going to do. So this information that I'm sharing, it's not so widely accessible and talked about. So I guess something in me feels to share this, because I would want to hear it. If I want to hear something that's not really too popular, so I can't find it, I would be grateful to hear about it. I remember when I was dry fasting, like 12 years ago, there wasn't a lot of information or videos on dry fasting. I found a book from a Russian doctor. Those who dry fast know who he is. And I had to Google translate the whole thing, and it was just, I didn't understand a lot of it. That was the only thing I could find. Nowadays, there's all kinds of videos about it. So at that time, I would have liked to hear somebody who actually had experienced dry fasting, because that's what I was wanting to do. I was ready, So anyway, that's why I'm sharing this information and making these videos. And I hope you enjoyed that. Leave me any questions or comments, and tell anybody that you feel would enjoy it, right? Not to blow my channel up, but because why not? Help whoever you feel you can help. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay, have a good day.